Okay, time for my usual review of SmackDown. I'm just gonna say a few things about NXT last night because I didn't do a review. Had some issues with internet and shit, and I couldn't watch the network last night. So I'm gonna make it short and sweet. From what I heard, I didn't go back and watch it, but I watched the first two matches, and ass had fought, so that was terrible. Um, and from what I heard, though, with the endings, the only match I would have liked, anyways, was the first match, the 8-man tag, which was freaking badass. The freaking segment between Big Cass and Jason Jordan, where they're just in the ring screaming at each other, was fucking awesome. Big Cass and Jason Jordan worked great as a freaking team. I loved it. They're just chucking people all over the place. But overall, it was a really good match. Chad Gable and Jason Jordan hit like that their double team finisher at the end, and it was actually broken up. And then Enzo and Big Cass ended up hitting their toss thing where he tosses Enzo onto him, and that ended up winning the match. And that was really sweet. But from what I heard, the main event was probably good to some people, but I don't like that it ended in a tie again. Because really, that just seems stupid. Why didn't you just make it a triple threat then? That's just being lazy and not wanting to come up with another main event, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I just find it stupid that it ended in a tie again. Whatever. I think what they'll eventually do is they'll have Sami Zayn versus Samoa Joe for the belt, and Finn Balor will vacate it since he's injured. And then I also heard that Alex Riley had a match against Ty Dillinger, and Alex Riley lost for some reason. So whatever, screw that. Now on to SmackDown. SmackDown was a very good show tonight. Well, it could have been great, but it turned out to be very good. There was so much stuff that was hyped up tonight, and I mean, it just didn't turn out to be as great as I was hoping. But to kick off the show, we had the Lucha Dragons teaming with Dolph Ziggler versus the League of Nations. Finally, for once, the freaking main event isn't the six-man tag. The six-man tag was before, at the starting of the show even. And there wasn't anything real big about this match. Like, the highlight of it was Kevin Owens on commentary, probably, to be honest. Like, this match is a six-man tag like usual. It wasn't as boring as the ones at the end of the show because it's at the end, and by that time I'm getting tired of it. But whatever. Ziggler did some pretty cool stuff in this match. Like he did that big elbow drop, Dean Ambrose style, to the outside on everyone standing, just drop an elbow. But that was very cool. Then towards the end, Kevin Owens ended up getting on the apron, distracting him, and that he helped him pick up the win. When Sheamus hit that freaking brogue kick, Dolph Ziggler sells the shit out of everything. Like that's the one good part about him. That's the one good thing about him. Even though I hate him, like he sells. He's by far does the best selling in the WWE. Like when Sheamus hit that brogue kick, it was ridiculous. It looked like it knocked his head clean off. Like it was awesome, but best thing about this is Kevin Owens on commentary. Jerry Lawler's like, "Hey Michael, because Michael's here tonight because Mauro Ronaldo had the flu. Yay, we didn't have to listen to his dumbass. I'd rather have Michael Cole over there than his stupid ass. Oh my God, he's going into the press. Don't you mean the pin, dumbass? But no, Jerry Lawler asked Kevin Owens what his problem was with Michael Cole, and he's like, I just don't tend to like idiots. And I'm not trying to say that Michael Cole's an idiot, but I mean, if I had my phone with me right now, I'd block him on Twitter." When he said that, I died laughing. He's like, if I had my phone with me right now, I'd block him on Twitter. Okay. But Sheamus ended up picking up the win. The League of Nations ended up winning. Nothing real big there. Then after that, we had Tamina take on Sasha Banks, which this match was okay. It was back and forth. To find out that new theme that I thought was Naomi's is actually Tamina's, so Tamina has a rap theme now, which is kind of weird, but since she's had the stupid Samoan shit before. But well, whatever, I'll take it. Um, Now, this match was fairly short in my opinion. Naomi tried to get involved a couple times. Sasha Banks knocked her off the apron. And Tamina ends up going for like this big back suplex. Sasha Banks like counters into like a tilt-a-whirl bulldog, like Rey Mysterio style, except when she does it, she hooks the arm when she lands right into the freaking crossface or the bank statement, whatever. It's the crossface. To me, it's the crossface when she doesn't do the backstabber into it. It's just the crossface to me. So she locks on the freaking crossface and gets Tamina to tap out. Like, Tamina didn't even tap out. Like, the ref rang the bell before Tamina even tapped out, so there was a botch there. But anyways, overall, it was a decent match. It was nice and short. And then they end up attacking Sasha, like I figured, and Becky ends up coming out there and saving Sasha. But then at the end, Sasha ends up shoving her, which leads to a segment backstage to where they finally decide they're going to work together because they both want to be at WrestleMania because they're going to have the triple threat for the Divas title, obviously with Charlotte. But they're just deciding that they have to work together and coexist because they both want to be at Mania. And it was a really good segment. Becky Lynch said that they're going to have to kick some ass, and then Sasha said, like a boss. I thought it was a really good segment. I just don't like how they're pushing it like these two have never teamed before. Because if you watch NXT, you know Becky Lynch used to be under Sasha's wing. Like, that was their gimmick back then. Or they had, like, an alliance or something like that. Kind of like they are now, so it's kind of very similar. So I'm interested to see what they do with this at Fastlane. I feel like that's going to be a really good match. People are just down, like, not looking at it as good. But I think as long as Tamina stays out of the ring, it should be good. Then after that, we had Chris Jericho come down to the ring, which, see, this should have been a great freaking SmackDown because you had Brock Lesnar for the first time in 12 years, which was kind of cool. He didn't do much, though, which is what sucked. And then the second thing was, well, it would have been ruined even if he did do anything big because of the spoilers and shit for SmackDown. But and then Jericho is going to be on there to answer AJ Styles' challenge. Now he comes out there and he says that he wants AJ down there face to face with him so he can answer AJ's challenge and tell him yes or no. And then they're cut off by awesome. Out comes The Miz, and The Miz tells Jericho that he's got a more important announcement, and then Jericho's like, "What? Are you going to tell us that you're going to quit?" And then the crowd starts chanting, "Yes, yes, yes." And then The Miz assures him that he's not going to quit and all this and that, something about the Playboy Mansion and just a bunch of stupid shit. And then Miz announces to Jericho that they have a match right now. Miz, Jericho, one-on-one. We come back from commercial break. The match has started. And now I'm going to say this. There wasn't too many like big highlights in this match. But much like his match against AJ Styles, Miz is putting on good matches now. I'm not going to lie. Miz is putting on good matches. Him versus Jericho was really good, I thought. It was really slow-paced at the starting, but it sped up a lot at the end. And there are some cool segments. Like when Jericho countered Miz's move, went for the lion salt. Miz moved out of the way, and then after Jericho missed the lion salt, they set up, grabbing his stomach. Miz came over and hit him with that DDT. I thought that was a really good spot. And then at the end, when the match ended, Miz was going for his big corner clothesline, and then Jericho caught him out of midair, just like the position that Miz would jump into the clothesline, which was freaking badass. Jericho just caught him like that, and then knocked him down, rolled him over into the walls of Jericho, and Miz tapped out instantly. That was a really good match. That was the best match of the night for sure. And then Jericho, of course, applauded The Miz afterwards, which I'm happy he did that, because The Miz, yeah, he's annoying as shit, and he's boring most of the time, but he's actually been improving. So, yeah. Then afterwards, we get Chris Jericho finally having AJ Styles come out there, and Jericho ends up turning down AJ Styles' offer. So AJ asks, are you sure? Are you sure there's nothing I can do? And then Jericho's like, yep. After Jericho's put over AJ Styles, like talking about how he's the best, he's one of the best wrestlers in the business today and all this, just putting over AJ Styles, which is great. And then, so AJ's like, okay, you're not going to accept it. And then he punks him into it and freaking starts punching Jericho in the face, does that strike combination, spinning back fist, knocks Jericho out of the ring. Then Jericho gets up on the apron, AJ tosses him the mic, and then Jericho gets punked into having the match. So we've got the third match. We've got Jericho versus AJ Styles 3 after Jericho got punked into it. That's funny how Jericho was the one that got punked into it. But Jericho got suckered into, accepting the match. So now we got AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho #3. And I just read someone said on Facebook, like I commented on their match on SmackDown and said that they should have ended it with the springboard code breaker, much like Neville's match over in the Beast in the East. And this guy trying to claim that they're probably going to save that for the match at Fastlane. I don't know if I see that happening, because this is what I'm getting at. I'm like almost 100% sure AJ Styles is going to win this match. So for Jericho to hit him with a catch code breaker and for AJ Styles to kick out of that, I think that'd be a little ridiculous. So I don't think they'll hit that at this match, to be honest. And if they do, when they hit it, AJ Styles will fall outside the ring because, like, off the impact, he'll just fall outside the ring so they can't pin him. If they do that, it'll be something like that. But overall, that's the match I'm looking forward to most, is Chris Jericho going one-on-one with the phenomenal AJ Styles. And then after that, we get a New Day interview backstage. Nothing much happened there. The New Day just talked about how Edge and Christian don't even have real instruments, and that they're going to completely school Christian and Edge. And Christian and Edge are so out of date, and it's not the 1990s or whatever. No one uses flash photography anymore. All this, it was funny, and then they done their stupid dance at the end, and oh god, whatever. Next, then we had Charlotte going one-on-one with Natalya. 2 Divas matches tonight, much like usual as of late, which is great. This match, though, on the other hand, was not great. It was very boring. Honestly, I can't even tell you what happened in the match. All I remember is, oh yeah, Natalya whooped Charlotte's ass for the majority of the match, surprisingly. And then Natalya went on the outside of the apron going to grab Charlotte, and Charlotte tried to rip the apron skirt out from under her, and she kind of failed the fuck out of it. And Natalya kind of just sort of hit the apron and then just rolled back in the ring, grabbing her foot. And then Charlotte locked her in the figure 8 and made her tap out. Nothing special. Then she starts mocking Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan with the yes chants. So then Brie comes down there and attacks Charlotte, starts hitting her with the yes kicks. Yes, yes, yes. And then she ends up raising the title above her head, which we all know isn't going to happen. Stay tuned for my predictions, but obviously Charlotte's going to retain. No chance in hell, especially since Brie Bella is going to retire here soon. There's no chance in hell Brie Bella is going to win the fucking title. No chance in hell. That's the prediction that I'm the most for sure about. There's no chance. No, I take that back. Kane, Big Show, and Ryback. The Wyatts are going to wreck them. That's the one I'm most for sure about. If Kane, Big Show, and Ryback beat the Wyatts, that'll just be ridiculous. But that's the one I'm most sure about. But Charlotte, pretty much exactly the same amount. Charlotte's for sure going to win. No question about it. And then we had R-Truth and the Gold Dust backstage. Or should I say, Dusta Rhymes. Gold Dust is backstage with his gangsta cap on and his chains and his big baggy jersey. And he tells R-Truth, "What's up, homie? It's Dusta Rhymes." Then he goes on to spit a rap to R-Truth. "What's up?" About how they're going to be the next big tag team. And then R-Truth gives him one back. And I can't remember exactly what the words were, but it was freaking hilarious. And then he just leaves Goldust shocked afterwards. Crap. It was something like, his second part of it was something like, "You cut me off while I was talking to my wife. You ain't my partner in the ring or in real life." That line was freaking hilarious, but I can't remember what Goldust said or like any of the rest of them, but they were freaking hilarious. The Goldust and R-Truth is turning into the best segment on Raw. Like, I love watching these every freaking week. Raw and SmackDown, they're turning into like the best segment. They're like the next best thing to the New Day. They're always entertaining. But then after that, we had the Dudleys taking on Ambrose and Reigns, which I was expecting a lot more from this match, but it was really boring. Probably the best part of the match was at the starting when Bubba Ray got up in Roman Reigns' face and slapped him in the face. I thought that was pretty ridiculous. And then Ambrose tagged him, and they're just going back and forth. And surprisingly, Bubba Ray got the advantage on Roman Reigns at the starting. Didn't make him look strong, but Then after that, towards the end, of course, after Ambrose got beat down the whole match, he made the hot tag to Reigns. Reigns came in, House of Fire, took them all out, Samoan drop, punches, clotheslines. Then he set back for the Superman punch. And then when he did that, Brock Lesnar's music hits. Um, Dean Ambrose gets back in the ring, ends up suicide diving onto Devon. And then when he does this, Brock Lesnar comes, attacks Ambrose, throws him into the barricade. So of course it causes a DQ. And at that point, I was pissed at freaking Brock Lesnar because I was like, "Fuck you! Why do the fucking SmackDown main events always have to end in DQ? Fuck you, Lesnar!" And then Lesnar gets in the ring with him and just starts suplexing both of them back and forth. And then Reigns ends up going for the spear on Lesnar. Lesnar moves out of the way. Reigns runs into Ambrose, blocks him from hitting the spear on him. And then when Reigns turns around to go back after Lesnar, Dean Ambrose turns him around and goes for the dirty deeds. Roman Reigns counters it, hits him with a Samoan drop. And then when he does that, he turns around right in an F5 from Brock Lesnar. And that's how they ended SmackDown. So like I said, they could have done a lot more with Brock Lesnar, but they didn't. Just like usual, they never do shit with Lesnar, so I can't complain too much. And then the whole Jericho AJ Styles thing was kind of unpredictable. I figured you'd just say yes, but still, it wasn't that great. Like I said, the best part of the whole show is probably Jericho versus The Miz. That was the best match and the best segment by far. The best overall thing of the show was R-Truth and Goldust. That was hilarious. Dusta, I'm gonna say this to finish it. Dusta Rhymes and Bo Rida need to have a rap battle at Fastlane. Book it now. Main event of Fastlane. Bo Rida versus Dusta Rhymes.